finally. Oh my goodness. I don't even know if the words have been invented to explain how excited I was while watching this episode, and how extra excited I was watching the ending of this episode, and how extra triple excited I am going into the final episode. God damn, bruh. Invincible. I knew the last episode was gonna cook, but this shit right here. Okay, let's go over it. So, Invincible Season 3, Episode 7. You already know what time it is, man. It's your boy Thingos, TGTV. Like, comment, share, subscribe for content regarding Invincible. You already know, man. But, yeah, this episode right here was covering the Invincible War, an event that we have been building up to and talking about for a while. And it's finally here. Now, there was quite a bit of changes, like I predicted from the comic book, because they didn't have all of the, the cameos and the extra characters from other comic books coming in, crossover events. They didn't have all that going on. But we did get introduced to a lot of extra characters. Now, what I found a little surprising, they did show the scope of the invasion. They did show the scope of the destruction. They jumped around a lot to different fights, like everywhere, so that you could see just how big this shit was, like the effect that they had on everything. But they didn't really focus too much on the individual fights. I mean, I don't think it was paced too bad, but in my opinion, I would have liked to see more focus on the individual fights with the new characters. I mean, they didn't even name drop a lot of these people. Like, if you didn't know who these characters was already, you would still be lost. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I heard anybody say Tech Jacket's name. You heard Best Tiger once. You heard Britt probably like once or twice. Another thing cool about that, Britt is voiced by Jonathan Banks, the guy who plays Mike in Breaking Bad. I knew he was either going to play Britt or Conquest. Look, I got to get on Conquest later on too, because that was a surprise. That was a fucking surprise, because they didn't announce that. They were secretive about that. They didn't announce who was voicing Conquest. I like how they did that. Even though I still would have chose somebody else. I like who they got, but I still would have chose somebody else, bro. Same thing with him. Well, I'm getting too far ahead of myself. But yeah, this episode, chaos ensued, carnage, just death, destruction, just, oh my goodness, bro. Angstrom Levy has caused so much shit for Invincible. Like, I know this dude is stressing out unimaginably. You could see it, but Powerplex, he actually has some validity to the stuff he was saying later on in the episode, bro. Whether Invincible a good guy or not, this man is directly responsible for all the destruction and death that you see happening in this episode, and even stuff that's happened before. This was all like build up to what he struggles with in his own mind about, like, am I responsible for this? I inadvertently cause so much death even when I'm trying to help people. You could really see Invincible grasping with that fact, and he talks to Eve about it at the beginning of the episode. She tries to convince him that it's not his fault. He says he knows it's not his fault, but it's still real hard. And then they kind of like cap off that little arc that he was going through emotionally at the end of the episode, where he admits, like, bruh, this is my fault and I don't know what the fuck to do, bruh. And then, like, just like the way that they had the different focuses on the different fights and shit, like, you know what I'm saying? It reminded me of the comic where how they was jumping around everywhere. Mind you, this all happened in one issue, so, they did a good job putting it all in one episode. Like, they hit all the main points, you know what I'm saying, pretty smooth. It was very accurate. The only major change that I saw was the characters being swapped out for, like, Astounded Wolfman, Tech Jacket, Best Tiger, you know what I'm saying? I forgot that some of these characters I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know them, but I don't know them. You know what I mean? Like I recognize them from the comic, but I can't remember their name. It was cool to see Capes pop up, Kid Thor. I forgot the chick's name that got the boxing gloves. It was cool to see them pop up. I don't know if they popped up earlier in the series. I don't think they did. I don't know. Like, have we seen them? I think we may have seen them in, like, season 1 or 2. I don't know. But those are other characters created by Robert Kirkman within the world of Invincible. I don't think he always meant for them to be connected, but I know he made Capes Incorporated like early on. I remember seeing that. You know, a lot of these characters have their own individual comics like Brit, Stallion the Wolfman, Capes Incorporated, stuff like that. So it was cool to see the world building growing out and him introducing these characters, you know what I'm saying? And it was cool. Like, nice to see the Capes, you know, throwing their hands and beating the fuck out of Invincible, even though he wasn't fighting back, because, you know what I'm saying, but I was just like, damn, you know, like chill out, let the man talk. But yeah, it was a lot, man. It was a lot going on. It was a lot to take in, but I enjoyed every minute of it thoroughly. Adam Eve, you know, trying to thug it out, fight next to Mark. She ended up getting destroyed. I mean, like, not as bad as she could have been, and quite honestly, not as bad as she is going to literally in the next episode. Like, spoiler alert, damn. But yeah, she got messed up pretty bad. Oliver, you know, he helped out, stuff like that. It was like pretty much just this, like, what you call like a montage of just death and destruction caused by multiple Invincibles. And I gotta give it to Stephen Ewan, man. They was playing it up for laughs, him doing the voice of the various versions of Invincible, but he really did his thing. Like, he was changing his delivery, like, you know, his inflections with his voice. Like, he was doing a good enough job, distinct, like, you know, making sure all of them was distinct, and, you know what I'm saying, they had like different personalities and stuff. I enjoyed seeing that. Yeah, man, Angstrom Levi, he is like a itch you can't scratch. The guy, like, we got to see him come back. Of course, he made all these promises to the Invincibles to get them to work for him, with his ability to be able to open up other dimensions and stuff like that. You know, the guy is filled with empty promises. Turns out he promised the guys who repaired him, he made some promises to them as well. Cool thing, by the way, I can't even remember his name right now. I'm pretty sure somebody gonna point it out in the comments, but I looked up one of the actors that got announced to be in this season. I had no idea who he is, even though he's an OG, he's a legend. I don't know everybody. I haven't watched every classic movie of all time. Like, one of those movies that I've never seen is Hellraiser. I've never seen Hellraiser. I know what the pinhead looked like and everything, but I've never seen it. So I had no idea who that dude was. But yeah, one of the new actors that was announced for this season is actually the actor who plays Pinhead in Hellraiser. And I was wondering, I was like, who are you gonna do the voice of? So when I found out that Jonathan Banks, you know, Mike did the voice of Brit, I was like, is he gonna do the voice of Carl Quest? Maybe, I don't know. Is he gonna do a good job? Shit. But no, he's actually the voice of the engineering or doctor race or whatever the fuck in another dimension that ended up healing and stitching together Angstrom's face. So that was a cool little reveal as well. But yeah, man, Rex, fuck, man. I knew it was coming, but I thought maybe they was gonna change it around a little bit. And Rex is dead, y'all. This man gave his life, bro. The scene was epic. They did add to it a little bit then from the comics. In the comics, he was already being held by the throat by the Invincible. He just told everybody to leave and he blew himself up. There was like no back and forth. In the show, he had, like, you know what I'm saying, he didn't do that much damage to the Invincible, but he put up a good little fight. You know, they had a good little back and forth before he ultimately blew up his exoskeleton and took both of them down together. And he had a nice moment with Ray right before that. There was, I'm talking about just death flags like a motherfucker. Like, I knew it was gonna happen, especially how they kept twisting the knife. Shit. But yeah, it was a good scene. I love seeing it. It was turned up. But yeah, man, you know, we had Donald helping out, you know, with Brit. Him and Brit have like a cool bond, brotherhood type relationship if you check the comics out. So that was kind of like hinting at that. Seeing Cecil, the Reaniman, you know, him using this little clicker to actually go all the way and kill one of the Invincibles. Showing what he could have did to the real Invincible, but, you know, he like, fuck all that, you know what I'm saying? So he actually killed one of them. I think altogether they said it was 18 variants, and they killed like, I don't know. I think it was probably like, what, maybe 6 left? Maybe it was 8 left. I don't know. But they killed a good little bit. You know what I'm saying? They took out a good little bit. But the other half that was left, they ended up getting transported because they turned on Angstrom, and Angstrom just ended up sending them to the same dimension that him and Invincible ended up in when Invincible thought that he killed him. So he sent all the other Invincibles there. So that was that's going to be a plot point that they pick up later. I can't wait until we revisit that. We might see that in season 4 or 5. But yeah, that was crazy. I remember when I read that in the comic, I was like, oh shit. So we got some more to look up for. Keep your eyes on that. Them Invincibles gonna come back, man. But yes, oh god, the ending, bro. Conquest, bro. Him pulling up like that. That's what I've been waiting for so long. And when he opened his mouth and I heard Jeffrey Dean Morgan's voice. Oh, I shut up now. This is Negan right here, bro. Negan, like Jeffrey Dean Morgan is now known for playing like the best villains in everything that Robert Kirkman touches. Like the next Robert Kirkman project they make, he probably gonna play the most iconic villain on there too. Like this dude, bro, come on now, bro. Like Negan, Conquest, what else you gonna pull out your bag? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. Now, I don't mind Jeffrey Dean Morgan voicing Conquest. I think he is excellent pretty much in almost every role that he does. But me personally, I would have still chose Ron Perlman. But Ron Perlman is a character with an amazing voice, and he can do, I said a character. He's an actor with an amazing voice, and he can do a lot of different characters. I can honestly see Ron Perlman voicing a lot of characters in this show. If he don't voice Conquest, shit, see if he can voice Thrag, you know what I'm saying? That'll be cool. The major villain that they're gonna be leading up to. The leader of the Viltrumites. It'd be cool if, do the voice of Thrag. I think he worked for that as well. But Jeffrey Dean Morgan, in the little morsel that we got, he killed it. Can't wait to see him really just unleash in the next episode. All in all, it was just good stuff. I enjoyed every minute of it. It was adapted in a way that I thought it was going to be adapted. The only thing that I wish they was able to do, which I know it's not really any fault of their own, is I wish that we could have seen these other characters have more focus, and also like the comic book characters cross over and stuff like that, which I understand why they couldn't do that, but at least give more focus to the characters that y'all briefly introduced. I'm sure they're gonna come back up later, but it's like they just gave us a glance at them and then we never seen them again. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was weird. But either way, they did that to just show the scope and the scale of the battle in general. It's just me personally. I felt like we should have got some more time with like Tech Jacket and Wolfman and all that. Not just cut to the fight and then cut away when the fight is over. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, all in all, this episode was amazing. A lot went down. It's hard to even fit it all in one video, but the next episode, the season finale for season 3 is going to be chaotic. The fight between Mark and Invincible is so much to look forward to. I have another video planned, and I'm going to be just dropping content, talking about it, building up to the finale. But yeah, man, it's good stuff. Good stuff, man. Oh, man, what y'all think about this episode, The Invincible War? Let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, this was a lot. And for an Invincible fan, this was just orgasmic. Like, it was so good. God, it was so good.